Hey everyone, so I know it's only December 2021, but I know that there are some early birds among you that are looking to plan for fall 23. In fact, this was a requested video, so I thought I would make it so that you guys can get ready in advance for the fall 23 intake. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about in this video, the timeline of fall 23, when you should be taking your examinations, when you should shortlist universities, work on your statement of purpose, letters of recommendation, when are deadlines, of course, extremely important. And what I want you to keep in mind is, again, I'm recording this video in December, so this is mainly for the early birds, right? But if you're watching this video later into 2022, let's say March or June or July 2022, don't panic if you haven't done what I've already talked about in this video. Okay, you might still have time. I'm also going to tell you sort of the last dates that you need to take all these examinations and write your essays and the deadlines and all that, right? So you don't have to panic, don't worry. So that's it. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing that we'll do is we'll talk about deadlines, right? So your college for fall 23, the fall 23 intake essentially means your college will start in September 2023 or approximately by then, August, October, depending on the country you're applying to, it can vary. But mostly we're going to look at September 2023, that is the first day of your college, right? Master's or PhD program. Okay. Now this means that your deadlines for the college will begin around early December onwards for the US. And if you're applying to other countries like say Europe or Australia, the deadlines can actually go into say February, March, April, May. It really depends on the country and the program and the university, right? But if you're planning to apply to the US or even Canada, for a lot of these top universities, you will find that the deadlines are in early December or even maybe it's like November 30th, November 29th and stuff like that. So what you want to make sure is, especially if you're an early bird, you want to make sure that you are targeting everything being complete by December 1st, right? That's going to be some of the biggest deadlines. So you want to make sure that you're ready for those deadlines, especially for the dream universities. That's going to be one of the biggest deadlines. Okay, so December 2022 will be the deadline for fall 23, right? That's when the deadlines will begin. Right? So that means you guys have plenty of time to write your examinations, shortlist universities, get your essays done and all that. So now let's talk about the GRE. So the GRE is going to be one of the biggest elements for your guys' college preparation and all that. So I want you guys to sort of know when you should take the exam by, right? Now suppose you are an early bird. Okay, if you're watching this video from say December 2021 or January or February or March 2022, what I want you to do is I want you to take your GRE by approximately June or July 2022, okay? Now this is what I would say the earliest by which you can actually take the GRE and still have sufficient time to prepare for it and have a lot of time afterwards for the rest of your college application stuff, right? I personally took my GRE in June for the December deadlines that I faced, and I had a ton of time to do a lot of the other stuff. So if you're an early bird, take it in June, okay? Suppose you're not an early bird, suppose you don't have a lot of time left, when should you take the GRE by? Sort of like the last date, right? Now the last date that I usually tell students to take the GRE by is approximately October 15th. Right? This gives you a month and a half for the rest of the shortlisting and all that. Okay. Now in this video, I'm going to assume that you guys are going to complete your GRE by say June or July, and then I'm going to talk to you about what you should be doing next and all that. Right. So now apart from the GRE, you also have to take a language exam, right? Which means you have to take either the IELTS or the TOEFL depending on the country that you're applying to. If you're confused about which language exam to take, I have a video that I did. I'm going to leave a link in the description for that. But assume that you have to take either one of these examinations. They're very similar, so you don't have to worry about them too much. Typically, I tell my students to take the IELTS and TOEFL before they take their GRE exam, just because it sort of contributes to sort of, the GRE prep a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And it's sort of something you can just get out of the way and then move on to the core GRE prep. Right. So I recommend that you guys take IELTS and TOEFL as soon as you can, maybe Jan, Feb, March, but you can technically take it after the GRE. It's really just personal preference, and my recommendation is to take it before, but you can take it afterwards. It's okay. Okay, so now that's when you take your IELTS and TOEFL. Next, what about your statement of purpose, university shortlisting, letters of recommendation, and all that? So after you're done with the GRE or IELTS or TOEFL, what you're going to do next is work on your statement of purpose, right? So statement of purpose is sort of the big essay that talks about, why you're applying to college, what your career goals are, a quick summary of your academic experiences, and why you think the university is a perfect fit for you and your goals and what you want to achieve with your master's or PhD degree and so on, right? So this is actually when you should work on your statement of purpose, right? Depending on when you're done with your GRE, let's say you're done in June or if you're done in October, you get started right on the statement of purpose. Ask yourself the big questions, right? Why are you applying for a master's degree or a PhD degree? what are your career goals, and why are you choosing to apply at this point in your career, right? Why are you choosing to apply now rather than say next year, or rather why didn't you apply last year? Why is now the right time for you to apply for this degree? Okay, ask yourself these big questions and then start drafting your statement of purpose, right? Simultaneously, you also want to make sure that you're building your college shortlist, right? So your college shortlist, essentially you're going to apply to like a bunch of universities. I usually recommend 6 to 8, but students do apply to say 10, or some students even apply to even more. But you should be looking at a couple of dream universities, universities that are maybe a little bit beyond your reach for your profile. Then a couple match universities, universities that are a perfect fit for your profile, and then a couple safety universities, okay? Which means universities where you are a strong applicant and they typically get applicants that are a little bit weaker than your application, than your candidacy. Right, so you're looking to build a balanced list. So this is also the time that you should be reaching out to students at these universities, reaching out to your own seniors or your friends who have applied to college, and sort of just understanding how the general process is going to be and what universities are going to be good for your particular field. Right? Now, what I want you guys to do is for letters of recommendation, I highly recommend that you guys get it done 2 months before your deadline. If your deadline is in December, you start asking your recommenders in October or even earlier than that, let's say September. So in October is the ideal time for your letters of recommendation, because hopefully within a month or maybe like 5 to 6 weeks, you should have the letters of recommendation ready to go and submitted before the deadline. So that's mainly it for the Fall 23 guide, but since you guys have stuck around for so long, let me give you a bonus tip, right? Depending on when you're actually watching this video, like let's say you're watching it like super early 2022, or even say, I don't know, mid 2022-ish, you actually still have time to improve your profile, right? So beyond just the GRE and TOEFL and IELTS, you can actually work on your GPA if you're still in college. If you're outside of college, or even if you're in college, you can start doing a bunch of projects or maybe get started on a research paper. Do an internship if you have the time. You still have plenty of time to build your profile. The profile building stage usually closes around, say, September, October. Beyond that, you really just don't have the time, right? You'll be focusing on your essays and shortlisting and all that. And it'll sort of look rushed if you sort of build your profile at that moment, right? So typically before the September, October time of 2022 is when you can actually build your profile and create a strong Fall 23 application. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you are planning to apply to Fall 23, make sure you're subscribed, because I'm going to be giving out a ton of useful information that you can use, when you're applying to college. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.